Thank you, El, for the music.
Oh, it's so hype too.
It is great. So, my friends, you are zipping through the sky. Actually, wait. I take it back. I'm sorry. I'm about to, for an introduction real fast, a different type of music. But we'll come back to this, I promise. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Assassinate Sonya to clear the queue. Bam. Assassinate. Boom. Play that. Boom. Turn on repeat. Actually, no. It's an hour long. Don't need repeat.
Tango down.
Tango down. So I think, where is it? Anyways. This is really quiet initially. It'll get louder. Might get DMC now I think about it.
Okay, I mean, this kind of slaps too, though.
This is the Apex Legends main menu theme, dude. Awesome.
I take it back.
Oh, of course. Yeah, right. So, you guys are soaring through the sky, going, again, we calculate roughly 100 kilometers per hour. As you guys put in the Wayfarer's forecast, your faces are probably... Although you might call a dragon having some magic, some innately magical protection. I mean, dragons have, like, regional effects, right? Why not bodily effects, too? So, you guys are able to take a short rest, or not short, well, yes, short rest, yes, long rest, in the 6 hours it takes. Something of a logistical point, Fia wouldn't need to take a waxing verb file, because 4 hours is enough for a short rest for an elf. Or long rest for an elf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, trance.
In that case.
So we just use 2 of them, then.
3.
3 of them. Right. Ruhan, Rose, Cork. Right.
Yeah. Updated back holding.
Yes. Abigail doesn't need it because coffee lock. Woo! Just like me in real life. Just like me in real life right now. And Varric has very little to gain from it, to be honest. He can pop Manax potions and then drink a fucking cup of Joe and call it a day. So, you guys are soaring through the sky like the shooting star meme at 100 kilometers per hour. You guys cross above Derelict Town, the cursed place it is. And it looks so deceptively mundane from up here. It really does. As you guys cross past Derelict Town, Continent side we'll call it, you guys do note that the water is quite literally darker. And don't get me wrong, we're going to night as you guys are flying. You guys are sort of, I don't know, racing the sun in a weird sense. Or I guess counter racing the sun because you're going the opposite direction. Nonetheless, though, it does get a distinct difference. It's like seeing like a blackwater bay versus a freshwater clear bay. Where those waters collide, you can see a clear difference of dark water to brighter water. The dividing line for these different types of water is Derelict Town itself, considering its own repulsing force, or cursed force, who knows. But that is something of concerned note to all of you. You guys are fighting in the dark, and let's see. I need to check the calendar here. Okay.
The dark.
Let's see. It is the 9th of Twilight right now. God damn, this thing didn't save my calendar. Let's see. I'm trying to remember.
You think the dark is Twilight?
Batman? Oh my god, that's what he means. Okay. Alright, okay, so Ruhan's totally fine, apparently. You know what? I'll put this in your guys' hands. I'll make this narrative one way or another. Someone roll me a 1d2. On a 1, there's no moon out tonight. On a 2, it's a full moon out tonight.
Someone else do it. I messed up the roll last time.
It is a full moon out tonight, so it is not pitch darkness overall. That being said, when you guys go into... well, we'll get there when we get there. It's a full moon out tonight, so combined with the bioluminescence of plant life, presuming it's not withered, decayed, or corrupted. Yes, corrupted. We'll get to that in a moment. You guys are able to see in dim light. If it was a 1, it would be darkness, and that'd be pretty funny. But nonetheless, you guys are directly above Alpha Torreans, as Justina notes. Make me perception checks. Let's see what you guys see before you guys enter the palace.
So I think, yeah, I feel like this is a good time for, like,
A straight
Ruhan
roll?
to be coming too.
Yes.
Oh, shit, so that's enough guidance.
Dash.
Wait, why do I hear rolls but I don't see rolls? What?
Uh-oh.
Just scroll down, or you fully scroll down.
Yeah.
There's a 16, a 7, or 20, and a 13. Well, D4 for guidance.
Oh, right.
Oh, there they are.
Did they all just appear at once for you?
That's okay.
Hey, that's terrible.
17.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all
Honestly,
moderately alert.
So yeah, I feel like this is like a perfect time for him to be coming too.
Yeah.
What is the first thing he sees?
Not
Not much.
You see the jagged expanse over there a ways. You reckon, I don't know, hour, 2 hours. I mean, the fact that it's in visible range at all is noteworthy considering before you're on an island far away from it. You do feel the wind soaring through your hair. So high up you guys are in elevation. Or, my bad, not elevation, altitude. You see your friends, or your party, at the very least. You see two semi-familiar figures, that of Venkoshi. And as you come to, you see a lotus sort of just turn to look at you in a sort of manner. It's like a, huh? Like a dog, really. Like a dog on its owner that just realized that the owner woke up.
Okay, first things first.
Okay.
Break free from that thing.
Oh no.
As you begin to struggle against the thing, it's just basically wrapped around your like midriff in like a sash-esque manner. It also does have your arms and legs just sort of held down, so just so as they don't fly around everywhere. As you begin to twist and turn and pull, the thing just sort of undoes like your arms, like around like your wrists and your elbow, your legs, around your ankles and your knees, just sort of. It still maintains like a more. It's still wrapped around your waist, but like a separated wrapping. So like in a manner similar to like mountain climbing, like through like a snowstorm or something, where you tie yourself off to one another so as you don't lose your way. Something similar to that, where you're still tied at your waist, but you have free, like you have slack to move on.
Yeah, I feel like it's a situation where like he's being overly dramatic about it, and things like I'm letting you go.
He's like, it's like, sir, please stop.
Please, this is Walmart.
You can move right now. I'm not even doing anything anymore. So you do know as you're twisting and turning and pulling, your left arm is immensely weaker, and then you realize it's not a matter of it being weak, like sore from overexertion. You just outright can't feel in it. You can still move with it, but it's a dull sensation. A lacking one, rather.
Okay, yeah, like just trying to free through. He looks at it. Where are we?
Heading into Athel.
Closing in, yeah, nearly there.
How you feeling?
I can't feel my arm.
Oh boy.
Abigail looks to you, Rose.
Shrugs like that. I don't know what he did.
It doesn't matter now.
Can you still move it around like normal?
Abigail sort of climbs up. Yes, climbs, because that's basically how you guys have to stay on this. Climbs up to you.
Does he like tries to pull his arm back quickly, but it like goes limp a little? It's fine. It doesn't matter now.
She grabs hold of it, not like a come here, like that sort of thing, but more like a gentle just hold on it. You see some bright light emerge from the contact point between her hand and your arm, but nothing's different.
Yeah, I think at this point he like looks down. Oh, we're on a dragon.
Yeah, be
Wild.
careful not to joust around too much.
Wild.
Then we are headed back.
Yes.
Yes. Are you fit for a fight?
Why?
Weird
I
question
think we're
to
heading
ask.
into one.
Yes.
I suppose it doesn't matter if I'm fit, but we don't have a choice.
Yeah, I think we'll be jumping in one way or the other.
Sort of like just starts looking off at that. Never do.
It all works out one way or another, doesn't it? Abigail says she pulls her hand back.
Just
Very
doesn't
good.
respond.
Barry's tinkering with his apparatuses on, like putting one on Lorelei. Gods keep us. We're gonna need it. Justira telepathically communicates to all of you. We have arrived. Brace yourselves. For what exactly? Yeah, it would be really, it'd be a really dick move of me to make your raw athletics checks, and if you fail, you fall like 20 stories worth of fall damage against the water
Cement,
of the sea. That'd be a really fucking dick move. I'm not going to do that. Don't worry. Although
But
dick my
crunching
mind.
intensifies.
Yeah, you guys hold on for dear life because after at a certain height, that is sort of what happens. Unless, well, I mean, some of you will be alright. Anyways, though, you guys hold on for dear life as Justira. Actually, it's not a free fall. Free fall implies that like she just lets go of her wings and you guys just fall until you hit terminal velocity. No. She brings her wings in over you guys, forming this sort of protective cover as she dive bombs the water. Consider it for better or for worse, you guys are actually relatively familiar due to Derelict and its peculiar false reality properties. You guys are actually relatively familiar with being suddenly submerged into an immense amount of water. Go you. That being said, obviously, you guys do the logical thing and slap on your rebreathers before, in approximately 45 seconds, you guys hit the water at very, 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 very fast speed. Maybe about 100 kilometers per hour, but, you know, whatever. You guys have the forest broken down, with the wings spread out the forest, so you guys don't instantly die by losing your heads against the water. Just in the water. And you don't taste the water, because that would imply it gets in your mouth. You don't smell the water, because you're wearing rebreathers, but as the water sort of washes over your skin, your hair, whatever you want, whatever feeling, extremity, that's a euphemism, you want to use, it feels Icarus. Nah, I ain't talking about the guy who flew too close to the sun, the fucking dumbass. I mean Icarus in the sense of like, it's like plunging yourself into like oil. Like it feels slick. On like in a way that water is not meant to be so. It is slimy.
Ironically, we are like Icarus because we
Flew very high up, didn't you?
we flew to the hardest part of the furthest mission. We metaphorically flew too close to anyways.
These perception rolls. Almost forgot about them. On your guys' way down, or as you guys are going down, I suppose, you guys did, as you guys enter the water, you do get a glimpse of the city as Justira unfurls her wings and begins swimming as opposed to flying at this, I guess you would call it the sky of the ocean, because, you know, there is a limit. Unless we're playing inside, which that's a really weird game, but more on that later. You guys get a glimpse at the surrounding. Athel Torreans, when you guys first came here, had its external, I guess you might call it, perimeter. There we go. I'll turn that down. It had its external perimeter sundered, but for the most part, majority of the centrality of the city was fine. That is no longer the case. if I were to give percentages in a really shit rough account, I'd say 20% before was sundered. It is now 50% and gaining. Let's see. Let's check out these rolls here. I can tell. Okay. You all see something. It's just a matter of some of you see more. The first thing you all notice is, in fact, you guys are free to draw on the tactical map here. Hold on, let me just put the baba booey. You notice from the west side, the west wall, from underneath the wall, as if dug under it, there is this skin, this creeping corruption, looking more akin to, I don't know, the leathery exterior of like a shark or something, except cracked, veiny, black, that sort of thing. You notice that as it is slowly but surely, like the front lines of World War I, inch by inch, crawling across the city. You know, to the south, or my bad, southeastern side, all of you, a really big crab. And I know it's like, we faced some big crabs before already. You guys saw a big crab when you guys were running from the crabs earlier. This is that crab and then some. This thing is, if I were to, maybe someday I'll get around to this, size categories, you know, tiny, small, medium, large, huge, gargantuan. I think older editions have a different one. Another
colossal
one. Bingo. Colossus. Colossal. Size category, colossal. This thing is more akin to a walking crab siege tower than a normal creature. Some real Attack on Titan shit, I guess. Except, fuck that show, it sucks. Nonetheless, though, this thing is huge. Massive. Colossal. It has buildings, fortifications we'll call it, built upon it. And there are humanoid beings in those defenses. Imagine like the War Elephants from Lord of the Rings. Except it's a crab. Don't think about it too hard. So, you all get that for free. To Fia and Cork and Rose, you note very quick flashes, right? Or bursts rather, not flashes. Flashes implies like light, but disruptions in the water. Just towards the walls from the southeastern side at the palace. You turn to look at what is the cause of this sudden bursts of disruption. It's literally crabs flinging themselves against the wall of the palace and exploding. Pretty funny, yeah. If it weren't such a dire situation, you might think it's comedic, but you do know that every explosion, there's always a bigger dent, there's always another crack in the wall. The big siege crab, the colossal crab we'll call it, is moving towards the palace. Very slowly, but very surely. Let's see. Rose.
Hello.
You note things sort of skulking about in the city itself. Both in the parts which are now... Well, the entire city is abandoned now. Every civilian is likely in the palace. Good ruling, I suppose. Or terrible ruling. You note that inside the city itself, skulking little creature... I say little. They're not like the size of like a dog, we'll say. Like a wolf. Skulking creatures. Sort of like an eel, sort of like a squid. I guess the best equivalent is like a cuttlefish. They're just sort of darting about. You don't know what they are. You haven't seen them prior. But there they are. They, at times, do go closer to the palace. At times, they are assailing some force outside the palace walls. But for the most part, they are more strikers than a line of forces. Speaking of forces, where stands the Royal Guard? Everything outside the palace, I told you guys 50%. If we assume the palace occupies 25%, the remaining 25% outside the palace is now contested zone. Contested by a frantic array of Royal Guardsmen. Well, aquatic elf Royal Guardsmen. The provincial Royal Guardsmen they're a different cut personally, but what do I know? So, the Guardsmen have defensive footholds here and there, you all note. That being said, they are facing things. There are prominent things that even a defensive foothold can't hold against. Like, I don't know, a crowd which is the size of a not a skyscraper in terms of height, but in terms of width. Crowd the size of a monument, and a corruption that is ever creeping ever closer. There's only so much you can do. If you guys remember my description of Torreans before, there are these dome watchtowers that sort of make this nexus around and above the city. Some of these are held, some of these are vacant of both allies or enemies. Others are being sundered as we speak by crabs. Just, chop off the wire holding it, so to speak, and they fall. This is what you guys get as you guys are hurriedly surged towards the palace. No Royal Guardsman shoots at you. No blue on blue here. Not today. Well, hopefully not today. You guys enter through, right as a hippocampi leaves it, the same entrance you guys first came here through. A hippocampi which has a number of containers strapped to it. You would assume equipment, ammunition, something like that. It surges out towards a number of different watchtowers. I say watchtowers, dome towers. You guys are brought into the air pocket of the palace with a number of civilians here. You guys do see Crescenting, Lorelai's friend, amidst this number. You guys are brought up into this air pocket, and you guys depart, catching the feeling of being on solid ground as opposed to 6 hours of flying and then suddenly being plunged into water, that sort of stuff. You guys step off, and then Justira shifts form to her humanoid form, because obviously getting a full fucking ancient dragon through these holes is going to be literally impossible without destroying her. See, she becomes that bronze armored knight that you guys have seen for a glimpse before. To those of you that look at the civilians, roll me insight. To those of you that want to get on with this, well, we'll get on with it soon enough.
Just double checking something real quick. Okay, that's what I thought.
What, do you have advantage on insight or something?
I do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember seeing this.
I'm still trash.
Well, luckily it's not too hard to see this. You do. Yeah, your attention is focused on the wounded Royal Guardsmen that are here and there, the ones that are helping maintain a flow of supply, and that's coordinating civilians inside, stuff like that. The rest of you know something in the midst of populace here. Actually, no, I take that back. Fear, you don't notice it. I'm sorry.
Damn it.
Cork and Ruan, you do note something. It makes sense that Cork notices this. I suppose you call it hope. But it's more than hope. Hope is like this weak, flickering thing that they're in the back of the mind that may or may not get snuffed. This is a kindling, a rekindling of that hope. A fire of passion of sorts. Hope stoked, so to speak. But you guys have other things to do other than look at the faces of the civilians as they get a glimmer of, or an additive of hope into their systems, mentally at least.
Is it only civilians, or are there?
There are civilians, and there's some very sparsely Royal Guardsmen here. They're not really here for the civilians. You think it's a matter of they're just here to coordinate the flow of wounded, of civilians, supplies, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, I would look up and see them, noticing this. Look back to Lorelai. Athel Torreans!
They all turn to look at you. The Guardsmen in specific, because you guys are a really sudden presence, and voting one at that.
Your reinforcements have arrived.
think it was just Tracer cheers with the cavalry's here. Roll my charisma. Or, yeah, just charisma. I think it'll just be raw charisma. Ooh, okay.
Thank you, dice. Thank you.
Very nice.
They give me a
Very
solid.
the time matters.
Oh, just one off in that as well.
I know, from one off from a nat. Let me just check something here. Okay. I have a tracker in the background here. You guys can't see it, obviously, but whatever. Just to see which way the siege swings. Like in English, I promise. Just can't lie. It's something to note that the people look to Justira, a figure which hasn't been seen in years, but is still familiar in their memory. Lorelei, who has been missing for a few days now, suddenly appearing. You outsiders who were here for less than a day. You know, you left as quick as you came. You have a golem with you, made of aquatic plant life. You have more outsiders. It's a lot to process. A number of civilians look awestruck. But, you know, a number of the guardsmen, you feel that here, look inspired. To the point where they begin to disseminate your arrival. As one guardsman points at another. Tell the king and queen! The princess has returned! The dragon knight has returned! That one guardsman he points at, what a shit end of the stick, right? You know, you could just tell them yourself, but you point at someone else to go do it. He begins to sprint away. Abby gets a large smile on her face.
Looking around, who, does anyone have, like, I guess, you know, the guy that just sent him, right? The guy that sent him. Are you in charge here?
No, not sir. Well, not officially. I'm just the edge man, I suppose. What can I do for you?
Where's the commander? What's the situation?
He looks at the Lorelei, and then he looks at her for like a second, and then realizes, no, I don't need to look at her. They're in the sanctum at the top. You guys have no clue what this is, but Lorelei does. I think Lorelei would have told you guys about the premise of what they're charged with, so you guys might recognize the term. The sanctum is exactly that. It's the place where the pearl is being kept.
Understood.
To the
Continue
top.
on. Make sure they're safe.
He salutes. Yes, sir. He just looks out the water pocket, or the water surface that you guys had to, you know, sort of enter through. And he looks back at you. God's be with you.
And with you.
Let's go.
Nods.
Right behind you.
You guys hear the sound of magical discharges. And you see that Vindrin and the other Sarvaton have deployed out their Venkoshi from their crystals. And they're all just sort of stretching and checking their gear. Vindrin just looks at all of you. Lead the way. The golem just sort of was like just scanning the room as if trying to detect threats. Just like this, like League of Legends totem ward thing. Just
It's doing his fucking job.
But it seems content that there are no threats in the vicinity.
Civilian detected. Eliminate.
Emergency. You guys go to the door by which that one guardsman who got the shit end of the stick left through. Lorelei ushering you all to the top. You guys basically are going the same way you guys came through when you guys first got here. I know how different the times are now, right? Before you're going to dinner, now you're going to dine in hell, I suppose. Or the aquatic version of it. As you guys go the same way you came through, much faster this time, you're basically jogging, or, marching through, as opposed to leisurely swaggering through. You guys are going through, you guys see once more the same items and artifacts and stuff. Or, I should take that back. Not the same ones, because some of them are missing, actually. Some of those trophy pieces are now being put to use with what their origins were. But here's the biggest kicker. As you guys pass through once more, remember that big glass dome that had the lightning in it?
Yes.
How
Remember
could I
that?
ever forget it?
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah, remember how it was like sort of fizzled out before? As okay, who's played Bioshock? Who's played Bioshock? Not Infinite,
Yes.
like 1 or 2.
Oh, shit.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, a bit.
Yeah, you know the respawn chambers, which are basically just big like glass things with electricity in it, but they turn on
Yeah,
as you get near
Tesla
it.
tubes.
Yeah, basically. That's exactly what happens as you guys pass by it. You guys are striding by it, noting. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's where Ruhan got zapped by light. It has lightning in it again as you guys pass by it. Is that
Might
safe?
seem like bolts.
I don't think we have time to determine if things are safe or not.
Fair enough.
Yep. Let's get the
Vindra
cat.
taps. Vindra just taps Varric on the shoulder. I like your friend. He's something.
Do I get any like insight from this? Any feeling?
Roll me your Arcana.
Oh yeah.
I
look
think
at
you have
that.
advantage on too.